been the number one difference the last 3 games? How you guys have kind of changed and the players have maybe had a little different job going?
I think our attention to detail has been more consistent. I think defensively we've been better and consistent. I think getting to the offensive glass has been a huge change for us. We've gotten second chance opportunities. We had 17 points off of 17 second chance points. I can't remember what we had.
We had 17 in the first half against State.
Against States. That's been huge. And then us being able to get to the free throw line and make free throws was huge for us today. And so, we're doing some things really well and consistently.
So when I asked some of the guys that, they said that they hinted that Clemson was a bottoming out. There's been a sense of urgency, and as you say, emergency since then. It's been with everything they've done. Has that been the case since you guys came back to practice after Clemson? It's just been a different team across the board in that respect?
I do. Our practices from that point on have been different. They've been feisty, extremely competitive, short-tempered. The competitive fight has been there, and whatever it ends up in terms of what it looks like, I feel like we're getting better, and so I'm just really proud of the guys.
Hubert, you talk about the offensive rebounding, and Drake's been a big part of that, as you mentioned.
Huge part.
Gets the early one, gets the dunk. Have you noticed a better comfort level from him since he's back at his spot on the wing as far as natural position?
Yeah, I will say this. I'm a positionless coach, and so to say he was playing this position and that position, what I recruit, what we individual develop, and what I play are basketball players at various different sizes, and so you got to be able to defend and rebound. You have to be able to handle the ball, shoot, make plays, and so Drake's in the same spots and maybe some different spots that he was in earlier in the year, but Drake's goes from quote unquote the 3 to the 4 all throughout the game. That's just he checks so many boxes. Defensively, it's out, just a length on McNeely. It's just against a shooter, and the number one thing that bothered me was athletic, guys with length like Drake, and I thought Drake's length bothered McNeely. So defensively, he can rebound, he can shoot threes, he can attack the basket, finish above the rim, get second chance opportunities, knock down free throws, and so I think the combination with him and Witt give us a really nice, big athletic lineup that really helps us on both ends.
Hubert, you've talked about liking Jaylen Withers' game all the way back to high school.
Yes.
Have heard you on that.
Yeah.
What do you think has allowed him to sort of rediscover how he's capable of playing? Because these games that he's produced the last couple of games seem like
huge.
What he's capable of.
Yeah.
Like, how has he found himself again, would you say, from your vantage point?
Well, I think as a player, there's ups and downs throughout the season. I can't remember a time when I played where everything was going great the entire season. You've always had to persevere through the ups and downs. But for Jay Witt, and I haven't specifically spoken to him in regards to that specifically, but there are times when this is his last year, you see the end and you can see things from a different perspective. And I think that perspective has really helped out Jay Witt from the standpoint of really wanting to be consistent and solid in his plays on both ends of the floor. And that's what he's done. Yes, he's produced 16 and 11, but I think the consistency of his defense, his rebounding, his shot making, his play making, We need his experience. One of the things that I've told him over and over again, and a lot over the last 2 weeks, is that this team desperately needs his wisdom in terms of experience. He's seen everything.
Yeah.
So, Ian and Drake, they need to see it. Seth and Jay Wash, they need to see it. Everybody, they need to hear it from you, and they need it from you. And he's really taking that ownership and really running with it. And I'm just really, really proud of him.
What about his personality too? He mentioned it. He talked about the experience with us, but then there's also, he mentioned his fire. And we saw some of that today, even with the technical foul. But on the good side,
Yeah, that wasn't a good side. That was a good side. No, I that's one of the reasons I've always was a big fan of Jay Witt, is because he plays with emotion and he's got a fire inside of him to always want to compete, and he's playing his best basketball since he's been here. And I've said this before, when he plays well, he completely changes our team on both ends of the floor. We are a completely different team when we get 28 minutes like this from Jay Witt.
Hubert, that feistiness that you mentioned during the practices since the Clemson game, what player or players have been at the forefront of that?
All of them. And I've poked at them to make sure it goes that way. And I don't know how you play this game absent of emotion. And it'll be a competitive practice tomorrow to get ready for Monday against Florida State. But the guys have responded. And I feel like we're getting better every day.
The guys talked about playing with joy again. How does it feel for you as a coach to see that joy play out on the court?
No, that puts the biggest smile on my face, because there's nothing better than seeing them smile and being happy. I talked about the quietness of this team. Well, the level of quietness has, like, the noise has gone up. Like, just in shoot-around today, they were in shoot-around today, and they were, yelling and jumping around. And at the beginning of the year, it was, I had to start it. And today, I just got to sit and watch it. And so the joy of being here, the joy of being together as a team and trying to become the best that we can be has really gotten better. And as I said before, it's always been a group that has enjoyed being together and being a team. From the start, the chemistry is a 10 out of a 10. They love being around each other.
respectfully, Hubert, but why do you think it took this long for them to find this and unlock this?
Who cares? It's here now.
Hubert, the last two games for Art, you've won the last two games by healthy double-digit margins, and yet RJ has had some rough shooting nights, both of those games. Do you think that speaks to the growth of the guys around him and just the team as a whole? Because some of those might have tripped you up earlier in the season, and you've still been able to blow teams out without him going crazy.
Well, I think, we have a number of guys that are playing confident out there and just making impactful plays on both ends of the floor. And so, Vin's been playing really well. Drake, we talked about Jay Witt. Ian comes in and he gives us a boost, and Jay Wash, K the last couple games. And so we're getting impactful plays from a number of different parts. And so that's what helps out when, the rare times that RJ percentage-wise isn't shooting the ball the way that he's usually able to.
I know you don't want Jay Wood to get a technical foul, but when he hits some of these threes, he does a lot of barking afterward.
Yeah.
Fans, benches, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But is that part of his game? Does he need to do that to be who he is on the court?
I told him to do his talking by continuing to play the way that he's playing. One of the things that when I was in college, I used to talk a lot, and Coach Smith used to tell me over and over again, a lion never growls after a kill. And so That's what I told Jay Witt. A lion never growls after a kill. And so just, you did your talking by knocking down the three. Let's do more talking by getting a defensive stop, rebound, and making another three. And he said, I got you, Coach Davis.
Thank you, everybody.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay.